as I was saying, this is my first time using the Streamlabs OBS software to stream to YouTube, so there may be some technical difficulties. That's the whole reason why I'm doing this stream. I wanted to do a test to make sure I'd be able to stream live when I'm doing this live video that I'm planning. As you can see over, yeah, that's where it is. Right there, that little blue box. Talking about the upcoming live Q&A session. I'll be talking about panhypopituitarism and adrenal insufficiency, mostly secondary adrenal insufficiency, but I will be covering briefly all of the types that I'm aware of. This is not going to be like stream to talk about medical advice. I'm not comfortable doing that. I'm not a medical professional. All I can talk about are my experiences myself as a patient with panhypopituitarism, suboptic dysplasia, optic nerve hypoplasia, and secondary adrenal insufficiency. So that's what that video is going to be about. During that video, I'm hoping to have some pre-recorded interviews with a few organizations that help people with rare conditions like panhypopituitarism and the others. So far, I have verified that I'm probably going to have a couple of interviews with the Magic Foundation, the Pituitary Network Association, and AI United, which is Adrenal Insufficiency United. And during the stream, I will be donating, as you can see down here, to Adrenal Insufficiency United. All the funds that people donate that will appear in that little bar down there at the bottom are going to go to Adrenal Insufficiency United, all of it. I'm not taking any of it, it's all going to them. So I think this will be a great way to raise a little bit of money for an organization that helps people with conditions like my own to get more resources and help educate emergency rooms and EMS staff on the proper procedure for adrenal crisis, which, if you followed my videos recently I uploaded a new video talking about a really crappy experience I had in ER just a couple of weeks ago where they denied treatment for an adrenal crisis that I was in. And unfortunately, some patients with my condition have died because emergency room staff don't know how to handle it. And that really shouldn't be happening. So organizations, well, specifically Adrenal Insufficiency United, is kind of trying to educate people on the proper procedure so that doesn't really happen anymore. So that's what I'm raising money for during this live event. During it, I'm going to have those pre-recorded interviews. We're going to do like a frequently asked questions thing where I can talk to you, the audience, which I can see the chat right now, I believe, unless OBS Streamlabs is lying to me. I apologize if I'm not seeing any of your chats. If you're saying anything, I'll go back and reply after the live video is over. But that's what this whole video thing here is for, to make sure I know what I'm doing when it comes to the streaming software. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that Q&A session with the chat, talking about what it's like to live with these conditions. You can ask me questions, I can answer them. I will not answer your medical questions. I will prompt you to ask your endocrinologist if you have any questions about your treatment or anything that you can't find on Google yourself. So it'll be more like day-to-day questions like how many chores can you do in a day? What's work like for you? Stuff like that. And I can talk about the treatment that I'm undergoing, but I will not tell you how to treat your adrenal insufficiency or panhypopituitarism or anything like that because I'm not a doctor. But I'll be doing that Q&A, and then we're going to talk about what an adrenal crisis is, what the symptoms are, what the treatment is for it, and what you should do if you feel like you are in an adrenal crisis. Again, it's a pretty rare thing, so unless you have a diagnosis, it's probably not something you have to worry about. But we're going to talk about that. And throughout the video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a panhypopituitarism care package, which essentially is just going to be a box full of stuff that seems to help with certain symptoms, like the fatigue that we get. Sometimes we have issues with dizziness, insomnia, and because adrenal insufficiency is such a big issue with panhypopituitarism, I want to put a few like stress reliever things in there too. So it'll be kind of like a spa box, really. It'll be a lot of fun. But I'm also planning on putting into that box like an adrenal insufficiency, adrenal crisis symptoms card that you can show to the ER if you have to go in. That kind of gives them instructions on what to do. I'm going to order those from the Adrenal Insufficiency United website. So that'll be pretty cool. I'll put that all in the care package box, and then at the end of the video, I'll choose a winner from the viewers that have been joining throughout the video. If you leave a comment in the comment section during the live session, I'll enter you in the contest so that you can win that care package, and I'll ship it to you as long as you live within the US. Okay? Cool. Oh, hey! I can see stuff in the chat. Blue Horizon says hello. Hi there! Thanks for joining us. Or me. I am not more than one person. But, yeah, thanks. That's cool. Thanks for popping in. Good to see that chat there is working. But yeah, we'll be doing all that. So, yeah, the pre-recorded interviews throughout the session. It's probably going to be about the whole session, I imagine, probably won't go longer than 3 hours at the most. And that's probably pushing it. I'm glad you're here too. Thank you. But yeah, that'll be a lot of fun, I think. You know, I'm gonna scoot that chat box over to. That's not it. A second. That's not it either. Oh, I have that locked in. I'm gonna scoot that over here so you can see the messages. But anyway, looks like things are working all right, so I'm glad to see that. But I don't have a date set for the Q&A session yet. But between now and when I do announce when the date will be, I'll be doing a few random live videos. Maybe we can play some Jackbox games or something, so that I can make sure this streaming software is going to work for us. And yeah, that's about it. That's really all I needed to do this video for, was to, test and then announce. So that'll be exciting. Oh, hey, Emily. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. So, but yeah, I say us now that I see Blue Horizon on there. But anyway, yeah, that's what we're looking forward to here. And I really appreciate you guys stopping in and let me know that it's working all right. Cool. Okay, but yeah, I'll probably hop on YouTube randomly every once in a while. We'll play some Jackbox games, which is like a party game that you can play with the audience. I don't know if you've ever seen those before or not, but they're a lot of fun, and it would be a really good way for me to test how the streaming service is doing. So right now my plan is to stay in communication with the 3 organizations that I have kind of a maybe on an interview with, and kind of see what their schedule looks like, see when they'd be free to do the interview. And I'm going to be working with Adrenal Insufficiency United to make sure, absolutely certain, that no misinformation is spread. And if they like what they think that I'm going to do in this video, they're actually going to help spread the word about this. So we'll get a few more people in here to kind of communicate and ask questions and stuff. But what you guys can do in the meantime to help me out is, in the comments of this video, ask a question that you have about panhypopituitarism or secondary adrenal insufficiency, and I'll see what I can do to answer those. Again, I'm not going to give any medical advice at all, but I'll be happy to answer some questions about what it's like with day-to-day life, about panhypopituitarism and stuff. Or if you want to learn more about it, you can ask me for resources, and I'll send you all the links that I know that could help you about whatever your question is. So yeah, I think that's about it. I'm glad that you guys were able to stop in and say hi. Thank you. I'll keep you updated, and I'll let you know when the date is going to be whenever I schedule it. So, until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Oh, wait. 1 second. I got a message. I'll go ahead and answer this question if I can. Is it true that you have to drink hydrocortisone before walking out before? I've never been told to do it, but when I don't, I feel like I'm about to faint. Drink hydrocortisone. I don't think there's a liquid form of hydrocortisone that you don't inject. I don't know about drinking it. I know that taking a stress dose is important when you're about to do any kind of exercise. Again, you'd have to talk to your doctor about this, but in my case, I was told that 20 minutes before I do any strenuous activity, such as exercise, you can take my stress dose for before exercise would be 10 milligrams of hydrocortisone before I go out and walk or ride my bike or go to the gym, whatever. And that just kind of helps your body keep up with the stress that exercise takes on your body. And a lot of doctors don't really unfortunately, a lot of medical professionals don't really understand what stress dosing is. A couple endocrinologists back in my chart, I had an endocrinologist that would not let me stress dose at all, and he also had me on a very high level of steroids, which was actually doing a lot of damage. So I'm glad that I'm not seeing him anymore. But generally, if you talk to your endocrinologist, if they're well educated on adrenaline insufficiency, they'll be able to tell you when and how to stress dose when you need to. But yeah, before you exercise, you probably should stress dose. But again, talk to your doctor first. So I hope that answered your question. Have I heard of oh yeah, the cortisol pump. Yeah, I'll talk about that too. I'm gonna scoot over a little bit so that I'm not covered up by the chat box there. Okay. Oh, no problem. The cortisol pump is actually not medically tested yet, but essentially what it is, it's like an insulin pump for people who have diabetes. It continuously puts cortisol into your body throughout the day. As far as I know, because it's not medically proven or like officially tested yet, insurance companies won't cover it. And from what I've seen, I really wouldn't know how to go about getting one. But again, if you're curious, I'm sure you could ask your endocrinologist and see what they have to say about it. They'd know a lot more than I would, but that's the pump. Let's see here, Emily. Yeah, Emily, that doctors telling you not to stress dose unless you're actually sick. Unfortunately, that's not really. It's kind of up in the air when it comes to a lot of endocrinologists. But my current endocrinologist and the one that I saw before then were both very well educated on adrenal insufficiency and told me that it is important to stress dose before you exercise. Otherwise, you are probably going to make yourself sick. And it might vary between patient to patient, which is why I really encourage you to talk to your endocrinologist first. But in my case, it's important to stress dose before I exercise. And I also stress dose a little bit if I'm having an extremely emotionally charged day. Emotional stress, this is one that's really up in the air when it comes to endocrinologists agreeing on it. But in my case, I feel like when I don't stress dose, when I'm having a really bad emotional day, it makes me feel sick. And it makes sense because even in cases of emotional stress, the normal human body would secrete more cortisol to make up for that loss. Yes, yep. Okay, well I hope I answered your guys' questions, and we'll cover a lot more of these during that Q&A session, and I'll keep you guys updated. But I'm going to go ahead and end this now. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'm like try to spread the word. Let's get this out there. I'm so excited. I'm hoping that we'll be able to do this sometime. I was originally planning for the end of May, but it looks like I may have to wait until the end of June before we can do this live video. So just keep an eye on my channel and I'll let you guys know whenever we get this up. Cool? Well, I'm going to take off now. Thanks.